Elden Ring Nightreign is fine. A true 7 out of 10 game, and that's okay. FromSoft has earned the trust and respect from me at this point to where every single game they make doesn't need to be a masterpiece to stand the test of time, especially a very experimental project like this one. It's a 3-player roguelite boss rush Souls-like with royale elements. I mean, come on. This project tried to jam-pack so many genres into one, you just had to know it was experimental just from the trailers alone. And FromSoft knew this too. None of these trailers or videos about this game made it seem like it was going to deliver another genre-defining game, and I'm completely fine with this. I mean, from the audience that Souls likes, or even more specifically Elden Ring alone brings, this game was definitely not going to be for everybody, especially the fan base of Elden Ring or other FromSoft games. It brought a slow RPG with an expansive world full of discovery and adventure, then made Nightreign into an extremely fast-paced and punishing mesh of genres with an Elden Ring IP slapped onto it. It's completely different from anything they've made in regards to the Souls-like. I'm still having a good time with what was given, but that's not without the glaring issues it has. And I feel like this game could have been elevated to another level if they just focused on certain aspects, and this is what I want to talk about. So what could have brought Nightreign to the next level from someone who doesn't make games and has no idea what the fuck they be talking about? To start off, the roguelike aspect could have been expanded on way more than what it is now. This, for me, is the weakest part of the game. After defeating about 4 or 5 of the Night Lords at the time of making this script, the drops are just weak. In more traditional roguelikes, you'll usually experiment with different builds that all give some type of unique abilities and a whole variety of weapons that all have a ton of different effects. Or maybe the set abilities or buffs will modify the weapons in some way. But in Nightreign, the most bare bones buffs will be picked up, like an increase to health or stamina, or maybe your flask will heal for a little bit more. But these buffs that drop are so minor that you'll barely notice a difference. It just feels lazy, like such a missed opportunity for not adding more special buffs or abilities that could have been dropped. They have a few that'll add things like when you start a sprint, some type of elemental explosion will occur, or walking will make some other effect happen. This is cool and what I wish they added more of into in Nightreign. There's just very little build variety here at all, and the weapons don't make it much better either. Maybe I'm just having bad luck, but I swear to God, I'm getting mostly the same weapons constantly. And the same goes for the relics that you earn at the end of every run. Maybe I'd feel more lenient on boss drops if the relics actually modified your character in any meaningful way, but again, it'll only give you something like +1 strength or FP and shit like that. Even when you equip these relics, you don't feel any change when actually on the expeditions. There's only like one relic I can think of off the top of my head that does something significant, and that's the one from the Night Lord that lets your flask heal the whole party. That came from that piece of shit duo boss with that funky ass butterfly. I just really wish there was more variety to drop and hope this is something they expand on in the future, because this is a really weak part of the game for me. Then there's the regular enemies and mini bosses you face in the camps. Again, the lack of variety is honestly lame as fuck. Now the Night Lords, I like. Their designs are pretty cool even though some of their fights were a pain in my ass, but overall when you're running from camp to camp, it's just Groundhog Day with the same type of enemies over and over again. This with the same layouts for every camp just gets so tedious, especially with the speed of the game. I don't really have much of an issue with the speed, but when you keep encountering the same thing over and over again each run, it does just get stale pretty quickly. I feel like the problem here is really with the map itself. The fact that it's only a single map with the same layout is what makes it feel this way. Maybe if there was just one more map, it wouldn't really give this feeling. I think the solution here would have been maybe add the underground area as another map, I don't know. But every single expedition being on this single map can get old pretty quick, especially with it being just the starting area for Elden Ring. Hopefully the DLC they release will include a whole new map for expeditions. No voice chat was also a choice, I guess. I can't comprehend how in a 3-player fast-paced co-op the only way to communicate is through pings. I don't get it. I play this game with mostly randoms who act brain dead, or there'll be a single person not following pings and keeps dying, or maybe someone is going hella slow for no reason, and I feel like at least a text chat could fix these issues. Or a voice chat where I can call them retarded. That always works. Especially for the newer players that don't understand a Souls-like and would be helped with just a little bit of guidance. A majority of my expeditions that failed could have been avoided with a simple voice chat. They usually end with the last player alive trying to pick someone up at a bad time during a Night Lord. So being able to communicate in a game like this, you would think would be a no-brainer, but apparently not. So the true endgame boss is simply not having enough friends to play with. Now, I don't have too much of an issue with a 3-player co-op, but again, I don't really understand why FromSoft didn't add a duo mode or something. This doesn't really bug me too much, but it does feel like a weird thing not to add for something like this. It seems like it would make sense, especially for a game like Elden Ring, where I'm pretty sure if you are playing multiplayer, you're usually playing with only one other person. Expanding more on the multiplayer aspect, why is there no goddamn vote to quit or something that lets the team leave early? This is a huge complaint I have. There are just some expeditions where the team just isn't meshing well together, and you can tell for the most part from the very beginning. But instead of being able to put up a vote to end the expedition, you instead are now locked in for 40 to 60 minutes. Every death just fueling the rage that's building up in your chest. I don't get it. Most multiplayers have a vote to surrender button, but this one is just lacking one, which again feels like a no-brainer, but it's just not implemented. Like, what's going on here? Lastly, the performance issues need to be put into check. FromSoft has never been known for good multiplayer, but in a fast-paced boss rush like this one, you just can't have stuttering issues or weird freezes in the middle of fighting a goddamn boss. It's just so annoying, and it really does happen way too often. It's amazing to me that they haven't figured out how to fix these type of issues yet, because frame rate or stuttering has always been a constant complaint from fans in these Souls games. Even after all these complaints, I still really like this game and have been sinking a good amount of time into it. I just hope that they can narrow in on what needs to be fixed or implemented quickly before the game just becomes too stale for me, because I know that feeling is going to come in soon. I think I'm starting to near the point of getting what I wanted out of the game, and I feel like I'll be back when they drop new content. It's just something about this game. There's a lot of good ideas, but the execution here just didn't land all the way for me. But hey, at least they were smart enough not to put a full price on this game. I honestly feel like I got my money's worth at a $40 price point. Let me know if you all feel the same way in the comments, or maybe you don't care about any of the complaints and are just having a good time. So yeah, like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed, or don't. Bye.